guys, this is our second time for this one. I did record this, but the dogs got to barking, so I took it off. So today, I'll just show you the other side, and we'll talk a little bit about what I've done here. So the other, I am doing day number 5 with Melinda Barkman. So when you look at this layout, you might think it doesn't look anything like that, but in actuality it does. What I've done is, instead of having the two pictures on the left side, I have flipped them to the right, and then I have my one picture. Instead of a flower, I have this fun title that I found, and this is my title. And so it actually is fairly close, and I'll recreate this on this side. Today I want to talk a little bit about Cricut and how to make your Cricut cuts a little bit more interesting. So there are, I thought of 8 ways to add to your Cricut cutouts. So this is just a Cricut cutout, and I've added nothing to it. And this is my Cricut cut that I've added. I simply have drawn some lines. So see how, because I thought it didn't really look like corn, and sometimes it happens. So what I do is I just take a, you want to make sure that it's all the things archive safe, and I just go around, and I am an artist in nobody's imagination. The reason I like to play with paper is because I am not an artist. And so just by adding a little bit like that, it adds some interest to that. What might be fun is you could fray some thread and stick it up there, because real corn kind of looks like that. And so that's one way. So adding lines is one way that you can add to your Cricut cut so that it doesn't quite look quite so flat. Another way is to add ink. And if you have not seen the woodgrain method, I will show that at the end. I will actually make one of these boards, which is really a poorly cut piece of paper and a little bit of ink. So that's one way. You can add ink. I've also gone around the edges, and that also is a way that you can add interest to your Cricut cuts. And I just thought about it right now. So you could take and just ink all the edges, and that will give you an image that stands out a little bit more. Mine are kind of tucked underneath, and so I don't know if I'll take the time to do that, but if I had it to do over again, I definitely would ink. I did ink on these, so that's it. You can ink the edges. Another thing that you can do is add brads or add another item. So I've added brads to this to make it look like it's more authentic. You can dry emboss. So this is actually, I've added texture to this. I've dried embossed, and I will show you at the end of this video. If you want to stay and see how I dry embossed, I'd be happy to show you that. And I think that's, so, and you can also add layers. So this, I will show you the Cricut that I actually, I'll take you through that step. So I went to Scrappy to do it with my Cricut, which is my favorite place. So when I saw this design and I knew my theme was going to be the pumpkin patch, I go to my favorite place to find a Cricut cut, because most of my things that I do with scrapbooking, I have some sort of title, which I usually find in this one location. So I scrolled through and I found this really fun one, and I will share this file with you. She offers this in this group, but you can also, if you are, well, if you can just go on Cricut and find it. If you are a design space, if you have the yearly subscription, you can cut all of this for free. So this one is by Lois Lynn, and she has quite a few. I do follow her, so if I find someone on this I really like, I follow them. So I found this on the Scrappy to do it. That's the one I want. I'm going to go ahead and press more, and all I have to do takes me there is to go like this. and that takes me right to that place. I am going to press customize. This is what it looks like on the phone. It is different. If you don't have a phone, if you're doing it on your laptop, it will look a little different. Then I can simply put around that, and I will, I can enlarge things. I can take them out and enlarge them. I'm going 8 by 8, so I made my things a little bit smaller. So, and this is a print and cut. I did not have the Cricut cut this for me because everywhere there's a black line, and I can show you the pumpkin. This is what it looks like once it is. So that's what I had, and this is the print and cut I had. I cut them out by hand. I fussy cut them because everywhere there's a black line, it would have cut, and I didn't want it to do that. So that's one thing. The first thing you want to do when you are going to use this is you want to take off these layers, because this is anything that is over 11.5, it won't cut. So I tend to take these large things off, and I delete them, and I delete everything I don't want. And I kind of use this like an ephemera pack. So if I'm not going to use that particular thing, I just delete it, and that way I can kind of play with it a little bit. So this was the image that I wound up wanting, and you can see, oops, you can see that this is actually, so this is a print and cut, and this is actually a Cricut cut, and it's called a subtract, which means they have cut that out so that you don't have to do the little letters, which I like. I am allergic to little letters. I don't want to do that. So when it cut it all out, it will look like this one right here, and she gives you several options. So I will include her file because the layout I'm doing today is an 8 by 8, and you might want a 12 by 12. So I will include the design link file for Lois's. I did not do it, it's Lois's, and you can pick and choose, but you could, if you just wanted the crow, you could print and cut the crow. Isn't he cute? So this is a great resource if you are trying to save money on ephemera, or you just can't find something that is speaking to the theme that you got going. Okay, so this was our first page, and I stayed with it fairly close. I'm going to tuck this pumpkin underneath like this. I'm going to cover up my edges because I don't really want that to show. The other thing I did with this paper is, this was a pattern paper, and I am trying very hard to use what I have, and so instead of, I don't like, I tend, if I have white as a base, I feel obligated to add stuff to it. So this way I did not have to add anything to it. Oops, but I forgot my Cricut thing that I added. So remember, I added I traced around it to give it a little more depth. I'm going to stick this under the picture because I like it layered. It looks more natural if you have things overlapping, and some of these leaves I'm going to have hang off, but I'm okay with that. I've got a dog scratching at the door, and hopefully she won't be the reason that I have to record this the third time. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. And I think I probably have not, because this is my second go around. I can't remember what I said the first time. I am going, this is day 5 of Christy's Beautiful Life, and the layout is by Melinda Barkman. And I would encourage you to pop on over and see what everybody else has going on this layout. So even though, see how I have hanging parts, I'm okay with parts hanging over because I don't want it to have the stripes at the edge. So this is my first layout, and believe it or not, it is actually pretty close. I'm going to have this, and this was from a paper pack. It's a PML card, and it's beautiful. And that's, oh, I don't want to cut off this guy's head. So I'm going to kind of have that go over like this. I'm going to have it come up this way. He might have flowers on his head. It's okay, they won't tickle. I'm going to put that right there, I think. And it kind of bugs me that there's a little bit of stripe going through, but girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. I also have these crows. I'm thinking we got to have a crow sitting somewhere, like he's bossing around the world. Actually, let's have this crow, since he's sitting on this, and you can see that he was there. He can either sit on the corn, he can sit. Oh, where shall he stand? I think he kind of likes it there. What do you think? Yeah. It's better to have things touch. I do kind of have a gaposis. It's kind of blank here, and I think I'm going to be okay with that because I've got a lot going on, and I don't want so much to go on that you no longer figure out what the page is about. Okay, so that is my left side, and when you come on, of course, sometimes I make changes. Like I'm thinking this one, this guy will go here. We might have a crow party. I don't know how many crows. These crows are so cute. And oh, that's one other thing that you can add to make yours. So these are also the print and cut. I am in love with print and cut. So I'm going to add another way that you can add depth to your Cricut cuts. If you think they're a little bit too one-dimensional, you can add an eye. And anytime I can add a Google eye, you got to know I'm going to add a Google eye. Although he might have a little bit bigger. His eye is kind of looks like it's going. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, let's go to the left-hand side. So the left-hand side, because I'm doing a 2-page sketch, just like my other one, I have the 2 pictures here. So she has 2 pictures here. I flipped them. And then I have this. So I have my space on the side, and of course I'm not having any title here. So let's go ahead and put that here. And it's cute because they have a hayride. So if you don't have a Cricut, tomorrow I am going to do a layout, and I am going to try to, if I can figure it out, I think I have something that I can do for those of you who want to have this type of look, but you don't have a Cricut. I think I found a cheap way to help you find that. So let me show you exactly what I did with this. So I just added it. I think it was too one-dimensional, so I'm just adding dots, and like I said, I am no artist, but just adding the little lines just adds a little something to it. You'll notice that my corn doesn't go all the way to the top. I'm at peace with that because, remember, I'm layering it up. And that way you save on paper. Normally, I might have used just plain green paper, but this one kind of reads as a plain, although it has a little bit more interest in it, and so I just use this paper. It's actually the back side of this, so I use that entire sheet. There was no waste, and so I'm kind of looking at that type of thing to use a little bit more pattern paper, because that's kind of what you can always use your solid paper, but when you're using up packs, it can be a challenge to use up those leftover pattern papers, and the goal is not to have a floor to ceiling when it comes to all my stuff. Okay, so I have another picture that goes right here. Okay, I might have to use a blank. You know, it never fails. Use your imagination. I will, because I'm not going to stop that. So I'm going to have this. I do have another picture that I can't find right now, so that's going to go there. I'm going to put my third one in here because I like the rule of 3, and I'm not going to make them all the same height. One of my crows is going to be standing in the the cornfield, and it would be so cute if I had a scarecrow, but I don't have one ready, and I am so far behind. Oh, there's my little people. Okay, I'm going to put them right there, and this is the perfect picture for them. I am Going to hang that off, I think. Yes. I'm gonna hang my pumpkins off. I'm okay with trimming them off. Actually, I want this taller one. I have this taller one right here, and like I said, I'm taking it down so that I'm trimming off things, and that way it will look less artificial. And I'm sorry about the annoying scratching noise. It is not, kind of sounds like me sanding, but it's not. I'm going to put this crow here, because that way it kind of, it's going to sit on this pumpkin right here. And that way, it kind of softens that a little bit. Alrighty, so that is my layout. I hope you will like and subscribe to my channel. Tomorrow, be sure to stop by, because I hopefully will come up with a way that you can, if you have a printer and that can print cardstock, I am going to use a printer and cardstock to make day number 5. So have a great day. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. Oh, I was going to show you. Sorry, I was going to show you how I did this. So to make this weathered look, what you want to do is you will need a bone folder and any scraps. So what you do is, so this is my messed up side, so I want it to show on this side. So I'm going to go down this way and this way and this way, just like I did with this. See, this is my 2 logs, and this is my recycled paper. So I'm going to do it on this side because I want that to show. And I just go this way and this way and this way. And I'm going to take my ink, and the dogs are going to bark because that's what they do. And I'm going to take ink, and it doesn't really matter. I had the right color, but because the dogs are barking and I don't want to lose my mind, I am going to take this. This is toffee. I just take it. And by the way, if you love these, Stampin' Up! Is going to have, they're going to be coming out with the in colors in this style. See how that goes? So I just take it this way and this way. And you can see that I have not, I'm distressing the edges, because that really helps the Cricut cuts to stand out, is if you ink them. If they're small, you'll put those little finger ones on there and you can get all around those edges. And see, there you have it. You have my wood grain. So now for sure, I'm done. Thank you for stopping by. I hope this has been helpful. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.